learners at home. My name's Wale Shofalabo. Today, we are going to treat summary. Summary carries 30 marks in SSCE. Your success in summary goes a long way to determine your success in your forthcoming examination. Summary passage will be given to you in your forthcoming examination. Summary is the ability to retain the main idea of a given passage by excluding irrelevant points, repetition, transitional words, and extraneous material. What I call summary? Summary means to be what? Precise and concise. Summary is the ability to reduce the length of a long message to a short form. When you retain the main idea of the given passage, you must exclude irrelevant points, repetition, transitional words, and what? Extraneous material. The beauty of summary is your ability to economize your choice of words. To what? Economize your choice of words. The beauty of summary lies in your ability to retain the main idea of a given passage by avoiding irrelevant points, repetition, transitional words, and what? Extraneous material. Do use your own word to put down summary answers. In other words, you don't write verbatim. You don't write words. You must not write word for word. You don't engage in mindless lifting of a phrase from the writer's choice of words. Remember, summary is the ability to retain the main idea of a given passage by excluding irrelevant points, repetition, transitional words, and what? Extraneous material. Now let us look at this example. Yesterday, Mr. Paul left for the market to purchase mango, orange, apple, and purple. And you're asked, in one sentence, summarize the mission of Mr. Paul at the market. In one sentence, summarize the mission of Mr. Paul at the market. If you look at this short passage, yesterday, Mr. Paul left for the market to purchase mango, orange, apple, and purple. When you are asked to summarize, you must identify the topic sentence. You must identify the word topic sentence. Now, in one sentence, summarize the mission of Mr. Paul at the market. 1. Mr. Paul left for the market to purchase mango, orange, apple, and purple. Now, you can change this word left towards he went to the market to buy fruits. We have retained the main idea by excluding what? Repetition. He went to the market to buy fruits. Take note of the fact that we do not use the writer's word. Am I communicating? We have retained the main idea by avoiding repetition. In the same vein, we have used our own word. We do not write the answer verbatim, word for word, from the writer's choice of words. We do not engage in mindless lifting of a phrase from the writer's word. That is the beauty of summary. The beauty of summary lies in your ability to use your own word. You must not write verbatim. Do I seem to be communicating? So he went to the market to buy fruits. Perhaps you write fruits. He went to the market to buy fruits. If you write fruits here, you'll be penalized. The examiner will ring the word fruits. You lose half mark. Every correct answer in summary carries 5 marks. There is a grammatical error here. Fruits is a noun that does not accommodate S. That does not accommodate what? S. Am I communicating? So for the mere fact that you have written the correct answer, you have put down the correct answer, and there is a grammatical error. For every grammatical error in your sentence, you lose half mark. So if you have 3 grammatical errors, you lose 1.5 mark. Do I seem to be communicating? So here you cannot have your full mark. What do you have here? 4.5 marks. Because of these words, grammatical error. Fruit does not accommodate except in another context. If I say you will eat the fruits, you will eat the fruits of your labor. In this context, fruits can accommodate S because it implies reward. It implies what? Reward. Do I seem to be communicating? Yes, sir. So in this context, fruit can accommodate S. Do I seem to be communicating? Okay, now let us use another passage as a case study. Many students ate Mr. Wale. I thought they were unfair to him. They were unfair to him. Later, I realized students ate Mr. Wale because he likes money. In his weekend classes, he shouts at students because of 100 naira. Besides, he is flat. He goes for everything under the skirt. He goes for everything under the skirt. And you are asked, in 2 sentences, summarize why students ate Mr. Wale. In 2 sentences, summarize why students ate Mr. Wale. Now, I've told you, when you're asked to summarize, you must identify the topic sentence. You must identify the words. The topic sentence. Because most often, the author or the writer uses transitional words to buttress the topic sentence, to buttress the main idea of the given passage. Do I seem to be communicating? So make sure you identify the topic sentence. Now, in 2 sentences, summarize why students ate Mr. Wale. Now, many students ate Mr. Wale. I thought they were unfair to him. Later, I realized students ate Mr. Wale because he likes money. The topic sentence is, he likes what? Money. He likes money. In his weekend classes, He shouts at students because of 100 naira. Is extraneous material. Is what? Is what? Is a transition. They are transitional words. They are used to buttress the fact that he likes what? Do I seem to be communicating? Okay. Besides, which means in addition to the point that has been mentioned earlier, we are introducing another point. He is flex. So why do they hate Mr. Wale? He is flex is another topic sentence. So he goes for everything under the skirt. Is an expression that is used to buttress the fact that he's what? So you must be careful when you are summarizing. You avoid what? Transitional words. You avoid irrelevant points. You avoid extraneous material because they are often used by the author or examiners to buttress, to expatiate the main idea, which is the topic sentence. So, 1, he likes money. I've told you when you're summarizing, you don't quote figures. You can make use of Roman figures or alphabets. He likes money. He is flex. How many words do we have in our final answer? 1, 2, 3. We have reduced the length of the passage by retaining the main ideal. We have retained the main ideal, yet we have grabbed the topic sentence. Do I seem to be communicating? So please take note of this. Now, I want to elucidate the do's and don'ts of summary. When you're summarizing, there are some things you need to do and there are some things you must not do. Now let's look at the do's and don'ts of summary. Do's. Do's and don'ts of summary. 1. Do read the passage carefully before attempting to put down summary answers. 2. Do use your own word to put down summary answers. Now, we want to discuss the do's and don'ts of summary. There are rules that guide summary. Now, there are things you must do while you are putting down summary answers, and there are things you must not do while you are putting down summary answers. Do read the first one. Do read the passage carefully before attempting to put down summary answers. In other words, before you attempt putting down summary answers, you must understand, you must grab the message conveyed in the words in the summary passage. You must have a better understanding of what the summary passage entails. Do I seem to be communicating? And we have what we call first reading. What do I call it? First reading, followed by second reading. After the second reading, you read the question in order to know what the author requires from you. Read the question. Then you go back to the passage and read the passage for the what? Third time. Here you identify, you underline your topic sentences. Do I seem to be communicating? So make sure you have a better understanding of what the passage entails before putting down summary answers. The next one, do use your own word to put down summary answers. I've told you, you must not engage in mindless lifting of a phrase from the writer's choice of words. Do I seem to be, you must not write verbatim. You must not write word for word. The beauty of summary lies in your ability to use your own word to put down summary answers. Okay. Now let's look at the don'ts of summary. Don'ts of summary. Do not lump 2 points in the same sentence. Of course, you must not exhaust your points. Do not lump 2 points in the same word, in a sentence. If you're asked, in 2 sentences, summarize the causes of road accidents, and you write, drinking of alcohol and disobedient to traffic rules causes road accidents. Now listen, if you look at this point, you have exhausted your point A. We have 2 points A. Drinking of alcohol is what? A point. Disobedient to traffic rules is another what? Point. The examiner will just mark the first point and they will ignore the second point. So in other words, you have exhausted your points. Do not lump 2 points in a sentence. 2. Do not introduce foreign points. When you are summarizing, you must take note of the fact that you told the writer's point of view. What do I say? You told the writer's point of view. You must not deviate from the writer's school of thought. If you read a passage and the passage says, on the first day, God created heaven. And you're asked, in one sentence, summarize what God created on the first day. And you write, God created heaven and earth. Is earth in the passage? You have introduced what? A foreign point. Am I communicating? Endeavor to follow the writer's stream of thoughts. Do not deviate from the writer's point of view. Do not introduce a foreign word point that is not stipulated in the summary passage. Do I seem to be communicating? Okay. 3. Do not use the writer's word. I've told you at the initial stage, the beauty of summary is what? The beauty of summary is your ability to summarize by using your own word to put down summary answers. Do I seem to be communicating? Do not use the writer's words. Am I communicating? Make sure you make use of your words to put down summary answers. Otherwise, you'll be penalized. Okay. 4. Now, we are talking about the do's and don'ts of summary. Now, do not use passive voice to put down summary answers. Okay. Now listen, do not include extraneous material. I've told you before, you avoid repetition, you avoid words, extraneous material, and irrelevant points. Do not use passive voice to put down summary answers. Now look at this. We have active voice and passive voice. There are 2 voices in English. We have the active voice and what?
The passive voice.
The passive voice. Okay. Mr. Paul killed a rat. Okay. If you look at this sentence, the subject of the sentence is Mr. Paul. What's the verb? Verb. The object is what? Am I communicating? So, This is a typical example of what? Active voice. This verb is an active voice because the verb moves from the what? Subject to the what? Object, which is the recipient. So summary answers should be written in what? In active voice, not in what? Passive voice. So if we write this sentence in passive voice, what do we say? A rat was killed by Mr. Paul. Do not write summary answers in what? In passive voice. It should be in what? Active voice. Do I seem to be communicating?
Yes, sir.
Before I forget, under do's of summary, do use good grammar, please. Sorry, take note of that. Do use good grammar to put down summary answers. Now look at this sentence. Foreigners is scared. Foreigners is scared. Let us assume this is your correct answer. Of course, in this sentence, we have error of concord. Do use words, good grammar to put down summary answers. Your summary answers must be devoid of grammatical errors. It should be foreigners are scared. So because there is error between the subject and the verb A, there is error of concord here, you lose words, half mark. So do use words, good grammar to put down summary answers. If you say, the class comprises of boys and girls. Let us assume this is your final answer. There is error of collocation here. Comprise is a typical example of a verb that does not collocate with the preposition of. So what do you lose? You lose half mark. For every grammatical error, you lose half mark. So do use words, good grammar to put down summary words, answers. Now let us go back to don'ts of summary. Now let us go back to don'ts of summary. Do not put down summary answers in phrases. When you are writing summary, your answers should be written in what? Sentences. Should be written in what? Sentences. Now look at this. In one sentence, summarize the cause of road accident. And you write, drinking of alcohol. Of course, this is what? A phrase, not what? A sentence. Drinking of alcohol is an incomplete expression. It does not express a complete thought. Drinking of alcohol. Does it make sense? No. So, rather, you say drinking of alcohol causes road accident. This is what? A sentence. What's the subject? Drinking of alcohol. What's the verb? What's the verb? Road accident is what? Is the objects. Objects. Do I seem to be communicating? So make sure that summary answers are not written in what? In phrases. They should be written in sentences. What are the components of a sentence? A sentence consists of subject, verb, object, complement, and what? Adjuncts. These are the 5 elements that uphold a sentence in English. Subject is the doer of the action that takes place in the sentence. The verb is the action performed by the subject. The verb also expresses state of being. The object is the recipient of the action performed in the sentence. Complement comes after auxiliary verb. If I say, he is a doctor. He kills a doctor. He is subject here. Kills is what? A verb. A doctor is what? An object. But in this context, he is a doctor. He is what? Subject. Is what? A doctor here is what? Complement. It comes after auxiliary verb. Am I communicating? Yes. It comes afterwards, is. Do I seem to be communicating? So make sure that your sentence has the basic elements of what? A sentence. By and large, I think I have been able to expose you to the rudiments used by the examiners to mark summary. Have a nice day, class.